everybody, how are you? I hope that you are really well. So I understand that I've got to read you a story, and the story I'm going to read today is called George Saves the World by Lunchtime. So there's George, and I'm wondering who his dog is, what his dog's name is. Let's have a look. Oh, George's tips for saving the world. Remember, the 4 R's. Where are the 4 R's? Reduce, repair, recycle, reuse. We're pretty good at that, Berryfields, aren't we? Getting better. What are you going to do today, George? Asked Grandpa one sunny Saturday morning. Today, said George, I'm going to save the world. Good plan, said Grandpa. Flora and I will help you. Let's see if we can save the world by lunchtime. George was keen to get on and save the world. He quickly ate his breakfast and tossed his leftovers in the bin. Slow down, George, said Grandpa. We might be able to use some of that again. But it's rubbish, said George, looking puzzled. Aha, laughed Grandpa. Don't be so sure. Tips for saving the world by lunchtime. Remember the 4 R's. Reduce. Use less of everything. Reuse. Clean it up and use it again. Repair. Fix it and use it again. Recycle. Turn it into something else useful. I should probably say this, children. If you can hear a funny noise in the background, Yolo has found a bone. And he's chewing that. He's remembered his bones here. So sorry about the noise. Now, turn that light off, Superboy, said Grandpa, and then we'll hang out the washing. I don't have time to hang out the washing, said George. I'm a world-saving superhero, you know. Exactly, said Grandpa. Saving electricity will help you save the world. Reduce. Use less electricity. Let the wind and sun dry the washing instead of a tumble dryer. Here's why. Most electricity is made when giant magnets are spun round by jets of steam. The steam is made by burning coal. Coal was formed millions of years ago when prehistoric forests rotted down into the earth. One day the coal will run low. Burning coal causes pollution. People are trying to make cleaner electricity from the sun, wind and the waves. Let's sort your room out now, said Grandpa. Let's not, said George. Grumbled George. Much better word than said. I'm saving the world, remember? We'll take your old stuff to a charity shop then. That will help save the world, said Grandpa. Humph, said George. Look, he's not happy. I've just noticed the fact that he's wearing his pants on the outside of his shorts, which is the requirement of every single superhero. Reuse. Even if you don't want your stuff anymore, someone else can play with it again, can read it again, can wear it again. We do our reusing when we do our egg boxes, don't we, for the Easter extravaganza or for the Christmas fair. Christmas extravaganza. Grandpa looked at George's broken car. I can fix that if you like, Grandpa told him. You'll have to do it this morning, Grandpa, said Flora, if we're going to save the world by lunchtime. Repair. Make things last longer by sewing, sticking, taking them to the menders. George and Flora went downstairs for a drink. We can sort the rubbish for recycling now, said Grandpa. Oh, Grandpa, this isn't what I meant by saving the world, said George crossly. Maybe not, said Grandpa, but we're doing it for real. For real? Said George. Yes, said Grandpa, smiling. You've been saving the world all morning. Recycle. 2/3 of all your rubbish could be recycled. When you throw things away, you are also throwing away the materials, the time and the energy it took to make them. Recycling saves those materials, time and energy. Rubbish in your bin doesn't just vanish. It has to be transported to a hole in the ground called a landfill site. Much of it will stay there forever. New landfill sites have to be dug all the time. George followed Grandpa out into the garden. I was only playing a game before, he said, but I'd much rather save the world for real. What can I do next? I wonder what they're doing there. Well, you can put Fluffy's poo on the compost heap with all the other vegetable waste, said Grandpa. Soon it will turn into food for the plants. Yuck, said George. He was glad he wasn't a plant. The compost didn't look at all tasty. And here we've got, in the wild, plants feed the animals, plants and animals feed the soil creatures, creatures feed the plants feed the animals. In Grandpa's garden, plants feed the family, George puts the waste on the compost heap, soil creatures turn the waste into compost, Grandpa feeds the plants with the compost, plants feed the family. Starts all over again. Recycle. In nature, plants feed animals and animals feed plants. No waste, no problem. We'll go into town now, said Grandpa, and do some recycling. But we haven't got the car today, said George. So we'll cycle, which means we won't be wasting any petrol, said George. Exactly, said Grandpa. Reduce. Use less petrol. Walk, cycle, share with someone else, take the bus, the train, or the tram. Petrol is made from oil. Oil was formed from millions of fossilised microscopic sea creatures. One day, oil will run low. Burning petrol causes pollution. One day, we might use cars that are powered by the sun or the wind. The charity shop in town was such fun that George almost forgot he was saving the world. Say goodbye to your old clothes and books, said Grandpa. But say hello to a fancy dress, said Flora. Meanwhile, George had spotted something very useful. What's he spotted? Oh, look. So what's he got there? Reuse. When you take your old stuff to a charity shop, your clothes and toys can be reused, and the money goes to help people who need it. Next stop, the recycling centre. Crash, tinkle, crunch. George was having a smashing time at the bottle bank. Now, none of this will be wasted, will it? Asked Flora. No, said Grandpa. It's all going to be turned into useful things again. Recycle. This is what happens to the things you recycle. Glass. Glass is crushed and melted down to make more bottles and other glass objects. Cans. Aluminium drinks cans can be melted down and used again. This uses far less energy than mining new aluminium. Plastic. Some plastics can be recycled to make plastic bags, cups and plates, and even fleecy tops. Paper. Paper is pulped and made into more paper. It's also turned into bedding for your pets or material to keep houses warm and save energy. Look out for things that are recyclable or made from recycled materials. I wonder if that's a clue. On the way home, Grandpa, George and Flora called in at the farmer's market. Can we take a break from saving the world now? Asked George. I fancy one of those strawberry tarts. Don't worry, answered Grandpa, buying 4 of them. Eating these strawberry tarts helps save the world too. Oh, it's nearly lunchtime. We'd better cycle home. Reduce the distance things have to travel. Things you buy at a farmer's market have grown and made locally. That means they haven't had to travel thousands of miles using up petrol all along the way. They're fresh, so they're better for you. Mrs. B's strawberry tarts, homemade with fresh strawberries, free-range eggs, local butter and farmhouse flour. And then it was lunchtime. I hear you've been saving the world while I was out, said Mum. Yes, said George. Grandpa helped us. He's a world-saving super grandpa. All in a morning's work, said Grandpa. I think I'll take a rest this afternoon. And there we go. So George tips thing well. Can remember what those 4 R's are. Reduce, reuse, repair, recycle. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.